I think we found Green Bay, doing an online search, and then eventually we ended up meeting Elad as part of our research into home contractors. Yeah, I think the initial meeting was good. I mean, obviously Elad, struck me as somebody that's, that was sort of quite, straightforward in his dealings and so on, right? The initial meeting felt good.
Yeah, they seem really knowledgeable, and so, that was a big thing for us because we didn't, how to embark on the process of remodeling a whole home. So I think we had actually decided to go with another contractor. We went through the whole design process, we got the permits, all of that sort of stuff with them. But then at the last minute, they kind of weren't transparent about some of the costs that were associated. And that really, was a deal breaker for us. So we decided to go with Green Bay because they were the next best option for us when we had our initial meeting. And they seemed like the most knowledgeable, and they knew our project. They knew what was important, what were the priorities, so Elad just was already, he was already in on the whole plan right from the beginning of what we wanted out of the project. And so he was our first call.
Yeah. When I say that, he did really sort of, get us out of a tough spot.
Really?
Because here we are without, sort of a plan in our hand. And we had already sort of moved out of the house.
We had already moved out of the house.
Into a rental property at that time. Yeah. And so we were like, what are we going to do? And I just called Elad, and he said, yes, we'll take the project, and then and he gave us sort of a budget that we could, sort of work with, and a timeline, that was sort of work for us. So.
They were able to work with our initial budget. That was one of the key things, but, they knew our project inside and out. They knew what we wanted, what our priorities were, and that was really important to us. I think that the project management side, I think we were really, really thrilled with how Elad and Marco handled the project. There was always, somebody available to answer our questions. They were always, just a text away or a phone call away. The software was great. They managed the project by giving us lots of information right up the front about payment schedule, every aspect of it. So we were comfortable right from the beginning. Even though we'd had this little setback at the beginning, we were comfortable once they took over the project. We were like, oh, phew, okay, everything's okay.
I love Marco. They basically, there's lots of ups and downs, and, we need somebody that sort of stayed calm through, kind of like all of it, and is, counseled us when it was needed, right? Because as a first time sort of, somebody that's doing this for the first time, you always, don't have all of the expertise. So somebody has to, sort of talk you through some of the difficulties and so on. So yeah, I think it was great working with Marco.
Yeah, I would still go back to Marco for advice. So, great resource for us, and really just a really genuine good guy. So we had a couple of hiccups, right?
Yeah, we had sort of really, for many years, we had sort of unseasonal rain. I think, in October and November, just as the project had just gotten off the ground, and there were rains, and then basically that set us back by months and months, right? And so there was the issue of, what work they could actually do during, the rain, because I think the project was also at a sort of a crucial stage of sort of laying the foundation and so on, and how also to sort of, make up time, right? Because, we were in a rental accommodation, and we were sort of anxious to sort of get back in the house. And so somehow they found a way to sort of, make up time, but still execute, the project as per plan and as per our, specifications, right?
I think we have recommended them to anyone who tells us, hey, who did your project? Or we had a party recently, and we invited our friends over for the first time since the remodel, and people that had seen the previous layout and then come and see the new layout, they were just aghast at how different it looked and how beautiful the touches were. And we had few people ask us, can you give us the name of your builder? I have family that was, are thinking about doing a kitchen or I think a bathroom. And they were like, oh, could you give us the contact, your project manager contact? So we've shared, Green Bay's contact multiple times with our friends and family.
Well, I might have people ask on Nextdoor, I've sort of provided a referral on Nextdoor. basically at the start of the project, you're sort of included in a WhatsApp group with the project manager, right? And so it's great. You get to sort of contact your project manager on WhatsApp
As well as builder trend.
as well as builder trend, which is great. And Marco, basically at the end of every day, he would sort of have pictures on there, sort of the progress that was made during the day, and obviously you can see sort of the invoices and the payments and everything. So it's just a great platform where you can just track the progress and also track your payments and everything. So it was really, really seamless. And I think it would have been a lot difficult if we didn't actually have Builder, sort of Green Bay host everything on Builder Trend.
Yeah, I think I remember at one point we went to Hawaii just before all the finishing touches went in, and we were like, oh my God, is this a good time to go on vacation? And I think we had the software and we had them on text, and that just gave us the confidence, like, okay, yeah, I think if anything goes wrong, they'll let us know. They'll text us, or they'll let us know through the app. And it was always good. You could check up on what we paid versus what we have coming up. So like payment schedule and all of that sort of stuff made it really easy. So I really like Green Bay's Instagram page. I was following it for a really long time because it gives you really good ideas about what other people do and kind of projects that they do. And then you can also, shuffle that over to your friends if they are looking for, people to do a small project or a big project. So, it's like a nice little portfolio of their work. So I like the Instagram page.
I mean, I like that, they're like super professional. I mean, they're just like, nice people to work with. They're very, very professional. They came under budget, on time, despite, all the ups and downs, right? And so that's something that's not sort of guaranteed in this kind of work. And so we're, super happy to have, found them and worked with them.
Yeah. It's not often. I know I've spoken to a lot of my friends who don't have, a project manager on text whenever they have a question, or if something's urgent, they don't always have that. So that's quite unique.
Yeah,
and
definitely. There was no chasing of, Marco, I haven't heard from you in a week. Like there was never like more than a few hours, delay, if that.
Yeah. And they'd show up on time if somebody was coming out to set up the electrical system or whatever, they'd show up on time. It's great.